What's up everybody, how's it going? It's Berk, aka Dansgate here, and welcome back to this playthrough of the Final Fantasy X Masters mod by Karifean. Please remember to like the video, and I hope you have lots of fun in the chat. Let's get going with this week's episode. We need to get deeper into the fight, because obviously we don't know anything about the overdrive, but I guess if we are using Yuna's overdrive, like if we're pumping that up, it could help. Only problem being is that when it's going to use its overdrive, it will use probably impulse first and then overdrive. So we really need to summon a shield, I feel, like kind of Omega weapon style. Okay, so there's a lot of things to think about already here, but let's just start thinking about them. On the field of battle. So we are going to use the stamina tablets in battle here. But I think I want to try and bring in some cheers with Tidus as well, if it's possible. Basically the first turn's for free as long as you Sentinel, so especially for these guys. How does it work if he hates himself? Doesn't get in. Okay. That's one. Stamina tablet on yourself. Basically this is more for SOS HP maintenance than the fact that I need this high an HP stat. So Orange Sentinels again. Elemental change first. It's got to have a pattern. It must be a pattern one. And I love the MP 100 regaining so that you can... Basically he's consistently feeding the player MP. And I think that's why 1 MP cost, I think ultimately is not going to be super duper necessary. But we're probably going to have moves that wipe away all of our MP too. So if you can, like, Lancet back some, you only get 100 back, which is not that much if you don't have any MP reducing stuff. But if you're 1 MP cost, 100 MP is already kind of more than you'd need. So in that sense, it's kind of useful. Right, here we go again. Also, Auron using Sentinel protects from Curse as well, which is nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to grenade ourselves here. Get those SOSs activated. And now they have enough HP to survive Impulse. And we're going to full break to boot. So Auron's going to do this. And he gets the poison on there. Beautiful. Okay. So now things are starting to happen. The good thing here is I don't need to scan. I don't need to know what element it is. They cover all 4 of them anyway. So it's fine. Is there anything good that we can use here? We can't buff anything, because obviously we're going to lose it anyway. I think we just attack. Nah, I'm not going to attack either. I want to see if defending reduces impulse damage. It probably doesn't, but I just want to have a look. Alright, let's go. Impulse. Damage. I think cheer helped. Hector Thundarga. Okay, so now watch those overdrives. Yeah, that worked pretty nice. Now, obviously this is where, like, if you had auto haste, that'd be superb, but you can't have everything. So trouble is, Auron, he won't be able to come back and Sentinel here, so I think leaving him in there is probably not the best idea. We need to bring someone else other than Auron in, I think, to deal with that situation. Yeah, so now he's kind of stuck. Can we Chocobo Feather him to just give him a chance? Yes, we can. Okay. Much better. And well, thanks to that regen, he's already going to be kind of back up to speed. But he'll be ready to tank whatever's coming next. So, I'm going to Hasker now. Okay. Now, obviously, I don't know what move could be coming next. I don't know if it just alternates between that. Surely it can't do, like, double impulse. That'd be ridiculous. I'm gonna just change to this anyway. I need to start using my MP for stuff now. Oren, you're just gonna chill. And I'm gonna rely on... It's still early days. If this screws me up, it screws me up. We're still trying to figure out what it does, but... If it's elemental, we have it covered anyway. If it's a slap, we have it covered. If it's not the impulse, then it is what it is, you know. We'll just have to find out. Mighty Guard. Okay. So this is why having Yoon out there again is a nice option. Full break. Yeah, Oren's not having that. He doesn't care. So, nice. Alright, so hold on. Let's make a note here. So that was Mighty Guard. And it was full break, but thankfully it was on one character. Now, we find ourselves in a predicament that we found ourselves before. This guy has all 4 breaks on, but he now has Mighty Guard. So it's like you make a choice. Do you dispel and then reapply the breaks, which is just a lot of MP, or do you just kind of deal with it? I think we just let him keep what he has. That's what he wants. Because we can't get rid of Shell or Protect, obviously, unless we Dispel, but then that gets rid of all of the breaks. I'm wondering if Impulse damage is actually not affected. Impulse is like a weird move. It's kind of... And since now we have a bit more... But then, if it really does do double the damage when not broken, it's like 5,000 or something. It's a very risky amount. Let's just find out. This is another, like, let's just find out what's going on kind of attempt. So I'm gonna Dispel. And I'm not gonna put the brakes back on. I want to get some more cheers in. I feel like cheers have been helping. Oren's gonna probably die and be revived anyway, so it doesn't matter as much. Now. I guess you literally... I think it's worth finding out. Let's go for... Let's go for that double pass Demi. Ah, shit. Okay. Finally, Karifean's saying that that's enough of that. That's enough of that. Shit. Not good. I mean, she can still come in and do some good damage, I'm sure, but you need to be careful. Oren, I'm going to try and tank again, but this time I think he's probably going to get killed. Let's see. Because obviously the brakes are off. And Oren himself is broken. So we've got Elemental Change again. And then Physical Attack. Okay, interesting. 5,290. Fine. And then Attack. So I think maybe the loop has been restored. Fine. So what this means is that the next move is Impulse and then whatever element it's going to throw at me. So I think the main thing here is we have to try and stop Oren getting stuck on the front line here. Before these situations. Is it worth using one more Chocobo Feather here? Yeah, even the CTB healing effect there is not enough to bring him back. So again, he's gonna get taken out here. but it's more overdrive charging for us. Does Lulu have a chance to get 2 moves? Yeah. Yeah, actually, maybe we could scan it and find that out too. I think I should have a hasted up Kumari, honestly. I think scan is kind of big. I can't use it on this one, but I actually have some Eater armors that I could swap in. Because it's only one element that it uses. I think, obviously, if you know what that one is, it's not a bad option. I wish you kind of had a Drain. Wasn't Drain also a rank 2 like Osmos? I could have used a Drain. Double cast Drain might become increasingly important. I think let's find out. I think the cost of it not working is too high. Again, at the moment I can't screw around. Let's just... So, Tidus literally can't break the damage limit right now. Shit, I kind of forgot that he doesn't have a break damage limit. Damn, it's only quad 9. Let's just do it anyway. Let's get some more damage in. I think Waka's too slow. Let's do it. Okay. Now, she needs to make sure she has enough HP to survive Impulse. And this time there's no brakes on, so... Thankfully she didn't heal too much. It's good. So this one, I mean, these are the kind of situations where obviously Riku's going to have a lot of presence in these fights now because she's become like she's hit those tiers of agility where you can notice how quick she is. I guess I could reapply the brakes. But let me find out. I need to know how much damage Impulse does if you don't apply brakes. So what I would do, I'm just going to high potion here. Maybe increase my chances of survival a little bit. Yeah, so it's in that sense it looks a pretty simple loop for now. No, okay, so that's good. That's good. Wait, why didn't Riku have the right... Eh? What on earth? When did I change her armor? Why wasn't she in SOS? This is annoying. Isn't that how we survived it the first time? I forgot at what point I changed my armor, honestly. Whatever. Someone's gonna get hit. We'll see who it is. Mighty God. Break. Yeah, we got lucky that it was Auron already, to be honest. 2,800. Yeah, a lot of turns here now. What is my armor? I was not paying attention to that bit. What? I think I gave myself too much HP. I probably wasn't looking, honestly. Sheesh. That's bad. What a waste. We still need to navigate the overdrive at this point, so I'm just going to stay in the fight. See what the situation is. That's so unnecessary. But what I can try and do is get 5 times cheer and focus here, at least. So let's dispel. Basically, once I get going, the plan is to be able to do a lot more actual damage. I should have been set up there, but I just made a mistake. Okay. So next up, it's Oren's turn again. I think first, before that, let's just use this overdrive. Well, maybe not yet. Let's... I think while I have the chance, I'm gonna do some damage. Which element was it? Oh my god, it was lightning, right? I think it was lightning. I think it was lightning. Let's see if I remember right. Oh, it's lightning. I think so. Not as much damage as I thought, really. It's good magic defense, honestly. So I'll let Oren die here, deliberately. He was gonna be put into slow status anyway. So at the moment we're at elemental change. The overdrive gauge is charging very slowly. I'm kind of surprised, if I'm being honest. Yep, activate the SOSs again. This time we don't know what the affinity is. We'd have to scan for it. It's the age-old problem. I think I'm going to do this. The reason being that I just need Kumari to be quicker so that he can come in, just do a scan, do what he needs to do, and then move. Okay. We don't need Oren to charge anyone's overdrive here at the moment, so we'll kind of keep it as it is. But we'll just move Yuna's turn earlier. Okay. So hopefully no funny business this time. This should work as intended, and well, obviously he'd end up revealing what his elemental affinity is. 2,600, yeah, obviously those cheers have been lost, so I've got to be careful. Okay, so it's water go right now. Okay. Bring Oren back. Yeah, we need him to save us from the fall break. So this ends up being a free turn, so Lulu can come in and do damage. Yeah, I think I had the element wrong last time, but this is better. 30,000 at once is not bad at all, honestly. So Mighty Guard, and then Full Break on Oren. This is the bit where I'm going to try to use like Hyper Vitality on Oren if I can. Nice counter. Now, Hyper Vitality. Is there a cheap drop? I can't mix Hyper Vitality. I think here's what I'm gonna do. Just gonna start getting cheers in. She's not hasted. Kimari is. But you see again, the agility is just too low. Even with haste, it's not getting it done. I think for now, let's just protect him. Back to Sentinel. So it should be elemental change and another attack. Now I'm keeping the power break on. Now since he has protect, I'm hoping that's going to be enough to keep him safe. And while he has cheers now as well. Alright, elemental change. $2,300, that's good. Yeah, the counter's obviously not doing great, but it is what it is. Right. Now we don't know what the elemental affinity is, but I think for Lulu it shouldn't really matter. We should just go for it. We just need to keep moving here. 7,600. Yeah. So we're not going to sacrifice Auron this time. I think Waka's maybe the guy we should sacrifice. It's got to be someone. Maybe Tidus, because he can come back more quickly after he dies. I'm thinking surely Yuna survives here. At this stage, we'll definitely use some cheers. Yeah, looking better. And Firaga, okay. So I think we use a mix of flare, and then once it reveals itself, then we just use whatever thing we want. So now we bring in our hasted customers. I think I'm going to do a Hasker here. And it leaves me just enough to do one more copycat when we're ready. So what we can do is bring Auron in for a Sentinel. It's going to be tight, but I think he can survive it. Nah, I don't think he can. It's just going to die. Oh, we did. Good job. Right. So all we need to do right now is just keep Auron alive, so we give ourselves some time to launch an onslaught. He's still doing well. Don't attack. We can do a copycat potentially. Kimari's in haste now too. So he can... Oh, does the spell charge the overdrive gauge? That I don't know. So let's just wait. Let Oren do his job. Okay. Osmos. Yeah, so there's no point double casting here. Let's just do an Osmos. Spell. Yeah, he's not mental broken here, so that's why. Alright, here we go. Grand Summon. I think let's just start with Anima. Anima, I think, has the best chance of surviving the first move. Obviously, it could be Banish, some kind of Banishy type thing, and then we're going to get hit by the second move. I think, if I had to guess, he probably doesn't want people using summon shields, but let's find out. What's the worst that could happen? This is only, what, like 10-2 or something? 2 or 3? So, in the grand scheme, the fact that we've got this far in the fight, I think I definitely have a better chance than I do against beating all 3 of Yojimbo's iterations at this point, so it all hinges on this though. If this is completely like I have no idea how to deal with this, then obviously we'll be in trouble. So I think we just take the extra damage. I mean, if I was Karifean, I'd kind of make something cheeky where I'm like, if you want to use the Aeon only as a shield, then fine. But if you want to try and also use them to offload like extra free damage, you can't kind of have it both ways. So I'd be like, if the enemy detects that a move is coming in from an Aeon, like if it receives Oblivion, Energy Blast, one of those, it counters with a move special set, then it banishes you. But if you just shield and wait, then it doesn't. But I'm kind of doubtful that there's a mechanic like that. It's all or nothing. Either he's just going to banish me anyway, or he's probably not. So let's see. Move this along, it's too much. Not bad, you know. Not bad. It's like 7% of his maximum HP from one move. We'll take it. I do like the strength level of the Aeon Overdrives here. They're not like completely obliterating anything. That's not too bad. Right, Mega Flare does get used and there's no banish, so that's good. But it does use 2 moves, so I guess it can kind of desync things, possibly. I'm not sure how that's going to work. Okay, so that's that, but there is another move it's going to use, right? Maybe it's, like, if this is a desync, that could be quite interesting. So when it's Mega Flare, it's not 2 moves. That's interesting. Interesting indeed. Okay. So I'm gonna keep going here. Why not? And again, since I'm covering all of the elements, it kind of doesn't matter what happens here. We'll be okay either way. Now, I think this is one place where using an Albed potion might be smart, just in case. But my armor doesn't have alchemy. Yeah. Now I believe it should be impulse plus the elemental. I have been trying to track. Let's see if I have tracked correctly. Who shall we use? I need to heal for 2,000 here. She's just not quick enough. Titus is quick enough. So we have to sacrifice his speed here, but it might be worth it. I don't want to use an X potion, but 2 high potions I will use. What about if he hastes Yuna? Yeah, her turn is really far down. It's that Grand Summon, of course. But this will at least charge Yuna's Overdrive again. Just pray that I've been tracking this correctly and it is the right move, otherwise this could throw things out of whack. Okay, Impulse. Yep. And which element? Okay, Blizzaga. Yeah, Titus couldn't survive the Impulse, so it didn't work perfectly, but whatever. Okay. I'd say so far so good. I think we might as well just use what we can here. Okay. I mean, almost 20,000 damage at a time is still none too shabby. Okay. Just Oren, do your thing. He's got the MP for Hasker, but it's not going to be enough for Oren here. But he's still in Sentinel, so that doesn't matter as much. Yuna can just dispel here, I think. And then I think what I will do, actually, I'm going to cast Osmos, and then yeah, another Firaga. Should be fine. So it seems like we currently have it under control, but it's another one of those where I didn't energize. Not energize, whatever that move is called. Elemental change. This is where it gets 100 MP, right? Yeah, I did it too soon. But we're putting in some nice damage here. This is working pretty well. Okay, below half. Good. So now we don't know the elemental affinity, so we're going to Osmos first. We just don't have enough for Flare. Let's see. Let's just do this. Find out what we're dealing with. So now it's time to get out. It's that kind of mix of we need to remember to heal up enough to not die from Impulse. And we also have to do some damage while we're here. She can get in and back out. Osmos, and at least now we know what it's weak to. Yeah. Okay. Basically, what I need to make sure of here is whoever comes in, they die from... They don't die, sorry, from... the impulse. So, Titus here. Make sure he survives. Because that's what we need to fuel the overdrive. So this should charge the overdrive nicely. Of course, this time Titus didn't get hit. Wow. Right, one time. Still good enough. Even once is enough to get the job done for us. I'm wondering if it's worth an ether on Riku just so that she can... Because she doesn't have a way to regain MP, and that's something I need to look into. But... what's the best way to tackle this? Basically, being able to cast a Heiska after... revival, like after, sorry, the impulse is really nice. It just gives us so many moves. It's a great time to cast it, so I'm like, maybe I should make use of that. 8 ethers. Yeah, maybe I stop using Copycat with Riku, honestly. How much HP does Auron have? Yeah, he should survive. So this just gives us a chance to really, like, bomb the damage. Like, really go hard on the damage. Okay. So this bit's okay, like, this syncs up fairly well because he's gonna need to survive. He's gonna need to Sentinel twice. Basically. Yeah, so now this gives us some time to operate. So we're gonna dispel here. Yeah, only thing is Auron has to be hasted up again, otherwise he's too slow here. So we need to make sure that happens. Okay. And then after this, that's the set of turns where we could really bombard. So elemental change. MP. Boom. Take that. Okay. So this is the phase. This is where I can really do some damage. Do we conserve MP or not? Otherwise, the alternative is to come in and to cast Scan again. And because Kimari again is not that slow, you just give up a lot of turns. So I'd rather, while I've got the MP, we need to go. So we're just gonna do what we can. Now I said I wouldn't do it, but maybe I should. Maybe I should. Yeah, it's too much damage to leave on the table for that little MP. Well, it's not that much. I guess it does make a difference. She doesn't have the magic plus 30 as well. Okay. This is where I have to be careful, like make sure I've got enough HP. At this stage it doesn't really matter if Tidus dies from Impulse or not. We don't know the elemental affinity, so there's a chance we could mess something up. Just in case they don't have 5, I think Riku definitely doesn't have 5, so you can do this. I am kind of sitting on her overdrive a bit, but honestly right now I just don't feel like I need it. So here it is again, Impulse. $2,100 on Riku still. Yeah, I think that that cheer is definitely helpful. Right. So this is where once again we can go back on the attack. And we can go Waterga. Alright. Sentinel. Definitely closing in here. It's nice to see the Auron tank back at it. I haven't been able to use him as much for that kind of thing. But now we have to stay a bit eagle-eyed on the overdrive situation. So let's dispel. Okay. Yeah, Auron will survive that. I should have used Heiska. But the half MP cost is generally doing pretty well for him. Okay, so we have time to prepare here. Let's see. I want to make sure Auron can come back in and Sentinel properly. Yeah, Lulu's still got the speed, which is not something I thought I'd be saying very often, but it's true. What about Kimari? He's got enough here. So I think I'm going to use him to heal. This is kind of all just making sure we survive the impulse situation. What's her max HP? Could she drop down enough? Right, here's what we're gonna do. Wow. That worked well. I feel like we're not close enough to winning for this to matter, but let's see. This might be a mistake. I might regret doing this, but I think we're getting very close. Okay. I feel like worst case Riku survives and she's going to have to salvage it for us. Like, let's say it's we come back and it's an immediate impulse. I think that's like the worst case scenario. So the other non-elemental that we have left is Valorfall that can still do good damage. Alright, let's do the blast. See how we do. Then we're going to be very close. $63,000, that's great damage. That's really great damage. Literally more damage than Oblivion. And notably more damage. Okay. Riku's turn was coming very soon. Let's see how it's going to work. Yep, perfect. Okay, that's exactly what I was looking for. Alright. I think I might have to sacrifice Lulu here just to get as much damage done as possible. See if we can finish it off with these. We've got to be super close now. Yeah, I think the decision's been made for me. The fact that she can't use it. I think he's going to die on the same tick anyway, so he should probably just use it. Whatever overdrive he's got. The elemental affinity stuff doesn't matter anyway, so let's give it a blitz save, see what happens. Can we finish it with this? I'm doubtful, but maybe. It's probably going to do like 20k damage or something. Okay, a bit more than 20k maybe. That's 8 hits, that's already 16, so it might be closer to 25. Not enough. Fine. Impulse. From here, in comes Oren, I think. Do his thing. And then, let it not be said that Waka did nothing in this fight. Maybe he'll just deliver the final blow. Maybe we're that close. I don't know. Wait. He has Hasker now. Sheesh! I totally forgot. Go Waka! Look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So she can now double cast. What was it? Firaga. Double cast Blizzaga here. And I believe Orange should still be able to handle this. Come on now, you must be dead. You must be dying. I really want to scan. Counter it. Kill it with a counter. Ugh. I guess Kimari still has haste, he can do the dispelling maybe, but I feel like even in haste he's just so freaking slow. Is there anyone that's actually high speed at the moment? Pretty much he's the only one. I think this at least makes sure that Orange survives. Yeah, I'd rather conserve my MP with the others for other stuff. I think Kimari is probably still a better candidate here. Let's just scan. Or no, let's just dispel. Let's sort that out. And then Yuna, who then does a Kuraga on him. Come on, man. We've got to win this. Yeah, the turn orders worked out really nicely here as well, actually. I'm just going to do a straight up Osmos here. It's so satisfying because normally Dark Bahamut is one of those Aeons where using magic starts to just become almost completely pointless. Like, unless you're really, really, really geared for it, and usually most people are not. There you go. 1,600 left. So now we are in the very nice position of deciding how we want to finish this guy off. We can do whatever we want. I kind of want to know how much damage Ultima does at this stage, but I can't really see it. We mentioned actually spare change in one of the other things. Can you imagine? If I have any money left over for penance and I manage to get it down that far, I will try to kill penance with spare change. But for now, no. Definitely not. Honestly, I want to get a feel for how much damage Drain is doing at this stage into like Dark Aeons, because double cast in Drain might start to become a thing, depending on the Sphere Grid Freedom that I have. 1,390, okay. 292 HP. You know I love a Kimari Flare, right? I feel like maybe we should end it with a Kimari Flare. Or maybe we should kill it with a Lancet. Overkilled by a Lancet, there we go. Whew. That was actually, I think that's the quickest I've beaten any of the Dark Aeons. I think that was like attempt 2, I think, 3. Wow. So I think it was the right call. Before going into the Dark Yojimbo Gauntlet, I think this is what I needed to do. Alright. And... ooh, nice. We get more Tetra Elementals too, that's cool. Let's have a look. We always like to get armors instead. Tetra Ward. Okay, standard. Yeah. I wonder what his weapon drop is. That's kind of a little bit... When I saw Soul, I was hoping for something a bit more like, I don't know, Life Preserver, or... dare I say, Ribbon. I know Karifean must be thinking, hey, that's a really useful thing, man. Like, don't underrate that, but... I'm not so sure. Maybe there's going to come a fight when it's really not as much of an option to start using SOS nulls and stuff, but that's one where I'm a little bit like, Dark Bahamut's supposed to be a, you know, one of the more top tier Dark Aeons. Is that really the reward? I guess you could say the fight was easier than some of the others to compensate. Like, it definitely felt much easier than Omega or Dark Yojimbo, so maybe that's a bit of a balancing factor. I don't know. Interesting stuff. I think the only thing I would say, I think the overdrive gauge charges too slowly. I wonder if that's something that Karifean kind of tuned down. It used to charge more quickly, but now it doesn't as much anymore. I think Bahamut's own charge, like not when you attack him, because you can't do like crazy insane damage to him most of the time. I feel like his overdrive gauge charging more when he uses a move. And then I guess partly the reason that's not the case is because it uses double moves. So you have to be very careful. Maybe it's just like 1% more every time. But I did use 2 shield Aeons. Maybe if I was forced to use like 3 or 4, then the fight might have got a little more different. But I think in general, once you get used to the loop, I think because it's a pretty simple one to track, I think that really, really helps. You literally have 3 moves to track basically. And if you... I really did make good use of my 2... the 2 ladies that have the full suite of SOS protection. So it saved me from having to customize this thing. And now I can customize 3 of them. Or I can customize this for almost everybody. So I can make a choice. I now have enough of those to make a real decision there. What was the other thing I got? And well, I didn't have to use up my... well, stamina tablets was the thing I used up for this one, but I think we'll live with that. As you're seeing, for now at least, we're not getting any like crazy amounts of HP. So... I think I got more blessed gems. Didn't I? I think I might have. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get any more preservers at this rate. They're all gone. Okay, so I think the next thing I will do before I wrap up here. So let me make a new save. This is something I have to remember to keep doing. Make a new save after you beat one of these major bosses. Don't beat them, do the save work, and then save. So we definitely have a few more levels to play with here. Yeah, Yuna's in that awkward position of she can't really move. I think I'm still going to claim this anyway. Might as well take it. And then I think the Dark Yojimbo fights for her are just going to be mostly a backtrack, honestly. Trying to get back to here, because I've just run out of Sphere Grid stuff at this point. It's not an enormous backtrack, I think, because I think you get to trade them like 3 for 1 on the way back. Or no, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 to 1. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, so she'll be able to get back on track and just continue along here. And I think that'll be good enough. Or I guess you could go back through here, but I think we'll keep it like that. So I think she's probably going to backtrack, but we'll leave it alone for now. Bit more HP. bit more accuracy. So I think he's definitely hitting Yojimbo. Kimari can continue down his path. He's almost at the really nice chunk of stats here. He's been waiting a long time. But I'm hoping it's going to come together. At least Kimari's scan played a little bit of a role in that fight, and he did dispel once or twice. So Kimari's starting to come back into it slowly, and I'm hoping if he can grab some more of this stuff, he'll be there. But for now, at least, it's slightly slow progress. Auron did a nice job there. That was also good to see. Love a bit of tank Auron. 89 strength, looking good. I think Lulu just continues on the path. Even more magic. She'll gladly take. And after the first Yojimbo fight, she gets some more agility as well. Does that help? Yes, it does. Okay. So she'll go upper tier as well. So both Waka and Lulu will go upper tier for the second fight. And that's what I've been trying to kind of engineer, at least for Waka. So increasingly, I'm just like, should I just head down here? Yeah, so for Riku, we've remained committed with where we are. I don't think there's too much more that she can do. I'm thinking maybe I still teach her a holy anyway, just to give her some... Whoops, leaning on my controller. Just to give me some more options. She just doesn't have any MP reduction stuff. I think copycatting is working well enough. Let's just give up the fantasy of Riku having her own suite of spells. It's not going to happen. Let's just move. But her knowing Dispel is also nice. Yeah, so Tidus is... What's his situation? Yeah, he's made it to the 44. And this is the bit where I was like, where do I go from here? Thankfully, most of the backtrack's already complete here, so it's not the end of the world, I think. So we either do that, or we push forward this way a little bit longer. 2 points of agility is not going to matter. There's absolutely no strength to be found here, so I think for him we're kind of forced to do the backtrack here. We'll see if we happen to get any more return spheres or something, but for now I think it's quite safe to say that he should just move back. Only problem is if you go back partially, you end up kind of wasting. I was thinking maybe I can use a purple sphere or two on him, but there's no strength purple spheres available, so we're just going to go all the way back. It's not too bad. We'll already get to this one, so we'll get some more HP next time. Okay. So then that's where we'll leave it, and then from here we will try to take on Dark Yojimbo and see how we get on. Now, once again, we managed to conserve items pretty well, I think. But what I will do, because we are running a gauntlet here, I'm going to have a look at my Phoenix Downs and stuff. How much money did I get? Like, none? Yeah, pretty much none. I think we need to keep stock of the Phoenix Downs. High potions are still kinda useful, but like 10 of them for 4,400, that's 11 of them for that much, just seems a bit... Yeah. Grenades we have enough of. Remedy. We've been managing to get through without using too many. It's just these two I'm a bit worried about. I feel like this just generally has way more utility. I feel like it has more than twice the utility. And it's 2.5 times the cost, but I think given what it can do, I think I should just spend my gil on this. If I am going to spend gil, let's just spend it on that.
Thank you.
Also, let me double check my items. Gil. 5 gil. So Gambler's Spirits can net you a massive 20k. And at this stage we definitely know how many potions that is. So could be useful.
Thank you.
I'm just thinking, is there any chance we could use more than 24 power spheres? I do not want to fall into the same problem again, but I think we're only going to need 2 sets, as in like 6 sphere levels worth. So I think that's a bit unlikely, surely. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just say 5. Absolute maximum for Waka. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 maximum for Kimari. Oren. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's not going to be enough. Yeah, there should be enough. Alright. I'm going to head towards the cavern one more time, and I'm going to take it on again. This time, I'm going to probably see if I can find a way to get through that auto haste. Really sit on that auto haste until the last possible second. I'll probably end up using it because I've not been finding too much, and we don't have an extra tier of agility, I think, for pretty much anyone compared to last time. If Waka and Lulu did, then I think the fight could look different, but for the first one especially, I don't think we have it, so we'll just have to see. Okay, my friends, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had fun, and we will see you next week for more from the Final Fantasy X Masters mod.